Good morning and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made this solar powered above ground pool heater for about $100. It's a nice compact system. It's 4 feet by 4 feet, and if you need additional heat you can just add on more sections. Now to make this, I started off with a 4x4 half-inch thick plywood, and then you're going to need to frame it, go around the outside with like a 1x3 on this side, and then you'll have to see what you need for the ends depending what type of panel you have. But once you have the frame around the outside, what you should do then is just paint the whole thing black, because the black is going to absorb the most amount of heat from the sun. So you should paint the entire inside surface black. Now for the tubing, I just used this half-inch irrigation tubing. It's thin-walled, it's fairly inexpensive, and it comes in like 100-foot rolls. Now this project will take about 160 feet or so of tubing, so you're going to need 2 100-foot rolls. Now to start off, you're going to make your first hole here right inside the inside edge where you have a clear shot. So it's like a 3/4 inch hole roughly. So now you're going to wrap as much tubing as you can on the surface of the heater. And to secure the tubing, I use just half-inch conduit clips, like C clips, and I'll leave a link to them so you can see what they are. But they're just basically the nail-on conduit clips for 3/4 inch conduit. Now you're going to go around the outer side, making bends, go all the way around, and you're going to attach it about every 12 inches. Then you're going to just leave a slight space in between and keep going. You're going to go around and around and around and keep nailing it, and the diameters gets smaller and smaller. And when you run to the end of the one tubing, just put a little irrigation splice in there. They have the fittings to splice two of them together. Now you keep on going until you get to the very middle. You're going to probably stop around 12 or 16 inches. Now you'll know where to stop from when this tubing starts to kink. So you should keep going, and then when it starts to kink, back it off one, and that's where you have to go, because if you go too far, it's going to kink, and then you're going to block the water flow. Now to finish the tubing off, then when you're on your last turn there, then come straight down, then you're going to drill your last hole just to come out. Now to the fittings on these, they have those hose end fittings for the irrigation tubing, so you can get whatever you want on that, male, female, just for a hose end. That's the easiest way to set it up. Now the last part of this is this polycarbonate clear roof panels. Now what this is going to do is it's going to prevent the tubes from cooling off from the wind, and it just helps maintain that heat that you've collected in there, to heat the tubes. So this paneling comes, you can get it like in a 2 feet wide by 8 feet long sheet. Then you basically cut it in half, so you have two 2x4 inch sheets, and then you just overlap them, and that's going to take care of this roof panel. Now for the this panel is actually a SUNTUF one that I bought, and then you're going to use the same type of these closures. Whoever whatever panel you got, you're going to get the same brand, so it matches where you can secure it. It has the humps in it, or if you get a smooth section, it has that. So there's different ones you can get, but usually you get those matching. And then they also have these screws set up for the panels. These are nice that they already have a rubber washer on them. But and again, I'll link those in the description on what screws you can get. It's just the standard panel screws come with the washer. But it's fairly easy to put together, and again, it doesn't really. The cost was about $100, but it's going to give you, basically free heat, except for the cost of the pump. Now, to hook this up to the pool, what I did is I had an old tee from a prior Intex pool, and I just hooked the two inlet tees together, so I have an extra feed from it. And, one feed's going to the main pump, and then there's a separate feed, and I just got an additional Intex pump. That way the fittings will be the same. So it's a separate pump that goes just to the panel. So from the inlet, it just branches off to the separate pump. Then you have to adapt the tubing down to a garden hose. You can just buy some fittings for that into the pool, and then back on the discharge, it's just going to go right. I have a separate line over the edge of the pool, and I just put a little T on that, or a little elbow rather, to homemade elbow to keep it down in the water. Now, to show you how the heater is working, the pool temperature is about 81 and a half degrees right now. Now, the return after coming to the heater is over here. Let's get up into that. And so that's going to be, that's showing 87 degrees. So you're basically getting a 6-degree rise going through that heater, the solar heater. It's raising the water temperature 6 degrees. Now, previously I measured this flow here, and the flow is around 1 gallon a minute. Now, if you do slow down the flow, the temperature rise would be greater, but you're not getting any more heat because you're heating less water. And if you actually speed up the flow, the temperature up will be less, but again, it's really the same amount of heat. So you have to figure thing about heat that's going into the pool. Yeah. So you have to, on this, for one of those panels with 160 feet of the irrigation tubing in them, you're going to get, roughly 6 degrees, maybe some days 5, maybe some days 7, but roughly 6 degrees at 1 gallon a minute. Now, this pool is about 5,000 gallons. So that means it's only gonna pump like over 8 hours, 1 gallon a minute. That'll be like around 500 gallons. So it really would take about 10 days to really raise the whole pool those 6 degrees. And roughly speaking, every day it's going to go up like a half a degree to 3/4, maybe one degree. But that all is free heat. The other thing to keep in mind with these heaters, if you're going to get serious about heating your pool, you really should insulate the sides and put a cover on it at night. Because during the summer when it's hot, this heater will increase the temperature. But when you have the cold nights, whatever you heated, it's going to cool off. But it's still additional heat than what you have without it. And it is free heat. It's free heat except for the cost to run that extra pump. So, and if you need to, you can simply add another 4x4 section, or even a third 4x4 section. This pool really could use a second section, But you have to weigh, you know, how much floor space it is, how much it takes up, because right now we just have this on the patio rather than putting it out on the lawn somewhere. You know, so it's, you know, they do take up space. So that's one thing. You know, some people put them on their shed roofs, and you know, that can work fine too. But this size is nice, where I can disconnect it at the end of the season, put some compressed air on it, blow the water out, and just put it in the garage and have it stand up in the garage, and I can easily put 2 or 3 of them right next to it. So it's easy to store. It gives you free heat, and it's only you know, it's less than a degree a day, but it's more heat than you have without it. So it's a good option where you want a little more heat, or you can do a few of these and get a lot more heat. But it's all, the solar's definitely a nice way to go. So anyway, I'm just tinkering around here, and you have yourself a good day.